Hey everybody, this is attorney Kevin Pritchett bringing you another edition of the Keeping It Real legal podcast. Now, legal disclaimer, this podcast is for general information only and is not intended to be legal advice, financial advice, accounting advice. If you want those things, you should get a licensed professional, either a licensed lawyer, accountant, or financial advisor. Okay, got that out of the way. Today I want to talk about one of the biggest problems, and when I mean big problems, I really mean it. The thing I see in my practice more than anything else, and it is so expensive, potentially fatal, but so easily avoidable. It's owning real estate by yourself and with other people the right way. The problem is I see too many people doing it the wrong way. Let me show you what I mean. I can get the slide to move. Okay, here's the wrong way. You own your house, and you own your house in your personal name alone. So let's say you have this house, and on the title to the house is Mary Smith. Okay? Now you might think, well, why is this a problem? I'm going to show you in a minute. Let's say you die. Well, there is nobody alive. If your house, the only way it's titled, is Mary Smith, and you, Mary Smith, die, there is nobody alive to sign a deed, to transfer the property, to do anything to the property. I see this all the time. What happens? I'm going to tell you what happens. Your heirs have to go to probate court. Now, I'm sure you've heard this term. What is probate court, you say? It is a special court that's set up in every county that handles the issues of people who die. The legal issues surround estates and people who die. Now, you might say, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is that probate court is expensive, it's public, and it causes delays. Let me explain each of these things. When your estate has to file let me back up. Remember I said your house is owned by Mary Smith? You die, well, there's no Mary Smith alive to sign a deed to say you want to sell it or do something else with it. So you have to go to probate court so the probate court can issue a ruling on what to do. I won't even go into all the details around that for another podcast. When you go to probate court, that's court. That's litigation. You're paying a lawyer like me. Beginning, I have people write a check for $5,000 to open a probate court case because it takes so much time and it's so involved. There's filing fees. So that's the first problem with probate. It's freaking expensive. Like all public court, or nearly all public court records, it's public. Everything in a probate case is public. And in fact, there's a portion of the probate filing where you have to file a little notice in a newspaper telling everybody that Mary Smith has died, giving everybody in the world an opportunity to file a claim against the estate. Somebody thinks you owe them money, or Mary Smith owed them money, well, they can file a claim against the court. So that's the second problem with probate. It is public. Everything becomes public. And because you have these publication requirements, people are potentially filing claims against the court. All those claims, any claim that is filed with the court, has to be adjudicated by the court. And that causes delays. Even without anybody filing a claim against a probate case, in Cook County, one of the main counties here around the Chicagoland area, it can take between 9 and 12 months to finally settle a probate case. And in that time, no funds can be distributed until the probate case is adjudicated, is closed. That's if there's no claims on the probate case. If there are claims, it could go much, much longer. And of course, every single filing, every single motion that has to be responded to, that's more court fees, that's more legal fees for the attorney who has to argue them and reply to them and research and whatever it is. So, by having your own individual name alone on your title to their property, you subject your heirs to incredible hardship. There is a solution. Simple one. The right way to own real estate is to put the real estate in a revocable trust. Now, I've had other podcast episodes where I've talked about what a trust is. I have a blog post about what a trust is. Just a legal entity. There's corporations, there's partnerships, there's limited liability companies, and a trust is just another legal ownership structure. No more complicated than that. A trust contains a beneficiary, the person who gets things from the trust, the trustee, the person who controls the trust. Rather than owning your property as Mary Smith individually, the smart way to own your own individual property is to own it as Mary Smith's Trust. You are the original grantor, the original trustee, so you can control the property just like normal. But if you die, the trust is the one that owns the property, not you. So there's no need to go to probate. The trustee that you name in your trust, it could be your spouse, it can be a child, it can be anyone that you name as the trustee, the one to handle business. And you also state in the trust what happens to the property of the trust. So there's no need to go to probate. Probate is completely avoided. All your affairs stay private. You don't have to write fat legal fee checks to attorneys like me to handle a court case. All you have to do is create your trust, significantly less expensive than going to probate. And all those disadvantages are avoided simply, easily, quickly. So, at this point, you have two choices. You can either keep your property, if you have it, in your individual name and have all those potential problems that I mentioned, or you can put your property in a trust. If you have any questions about any of this, there's a link down below this podcast that allows you to sign up for an appointment, free consultation, where I can review your situation and give you the best recommendation on how to address this problem. The problem also occurs if you own investment property. There's a different kind of way that you approach it, but you still want to avoid owning property, whether it's investment property or your personal property, place where you live, in a trust. My friends, you owe it to yourself to do things the right way. Click the link down below, get a free consultation. Hope this was helpful today. This is Kevin Pritchett signing off for the Keeping It Real Straight Smoke podcast. See you next time.